It's a new month on HMP, and that means it's time for a new theme. And the best part is you'll get a look into our inner psyches. Welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast.
That's awesome.
Welcome back, you dirty babies. It's time for another Half-Ass Movie Podcast, a show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Portress, and joining me today, you're going to get a deep look into his mind this week. Sweet Seanzie Go-Backs from the internet.
In the immortal words of Peter Boyle, darn bushes yowling at me again.
And he also has a Daphne tattoo, but it's on his butt, and he'll show you. Bruce Leslie.
There ain't no joust like a motorcycle joust.
First of all, my tattoo would be of Velma, not of Daphne. Folks, if you want to know my type, you're looking at it right there. That is my type right there. My God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a new month here. And as you know, we get a new theme as the new month comes in. And this month's theme is the March of Dimes. Sweet Seanzie, tell them all about it and your choice for this week.
Okay. So my thought was this: it's not the FDR created nonprofit that would go to curing polio. It is about actors and actresses just looking their absolute hottest, and like a dime. Oh man, that's a dime right there. She's a dime. That lady, right? That lady. That lady, what are we doing? That lady right there.
We're going to video works.
Dime.
Dimes, everybody. We're going to get into it. And I think it's going to be a very interesting week and everything, or month rather, excuse me, because we got 5 weeks within this month. That's what I was thinking. But man, oh man, it's going to be a good one. But before we jump into that review, we do want to remind people that this show you're listening to is live on YouTube every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Come on out, be one of the dirty babies in the chat. We love to see you out there, and like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and hit those hit a big old super chat if you don't mind.
Portress
AKA Portress Bucks. We'll make sure to absolutely read that chat out on air as well. So come on out and hang on out. And this week's I want to talk about it. Patreon.com/HMP. This week, I just saw a name pop up and hit a couple of likes on some of the posts and stuff like that. So this week, I want to highlight. That's the word I'm looking for. I want to highlight Jessica Berry, one of our top Patreon supporters. She's been with us for quite some time, and is and spits in the eye of the idea that no women listen to our show. It's very nice. It's very nice. We always kind of make fun of that just because it's 3 dudes and stuff. But we do have some ladies that listen to the show, and Jessica has been a big supporter of us for quite some time. And we just want to say thank you, Jessica, and all the folks over at patreon.com/HMP, pre-show, post-show Dinger Zone. This week's Dinger Zone, we are talking our top 5. How are we kind of describing this one again?
It's top 5 movies that were just massive, successful movies, sometimes franchises that no longer exist. No one thinks about these movies, but there was a moment in time where, man, we can't release our movie that weekend. The third Police Academy movie's coming out, like that sort of thing.
The good ones, the good films. So we'll be doing that after our regular stream here. We'll be doing the Dinger Zone, and of course we chop that out the next week. And the only way to get that is over at patreon.com/HMP. So we'd like to thank all of those people for supporting this show week after week, month after month. And my God, year after year at this point. It's been quite amazing. We appreciate all you guys. And why don't you just drop us an email? Why don't you? halfassmoviepod@gmail.com. We'll read an email on the show if you want to. We will. I swear we will. Let's get into it, fellas. Here is the IMDb plot line for Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. The Mystery Inc. gang must save Coolsville from an attack of their past monsters brought to life by an evil masked figure trying to take down the gang. Listen, that is concise. There's a lot to it, but not too bad, IMDb.
Lovely.
This is written by James Gunn, most noted for Tromeo and Juliet. I probably did some other stuff you've seen as well. Sean, let's kick it off with you, man. Since this is your pick here and everything. I'll say this: I'd never seen this movie before. I don't know that I saw the first Scooby-Doo movie at all. Bruce, I don't think you're probably in the same camp.
What, say that again?
Did you see the previous Scooby-Doo movie? Were you? I mean,
I've seen the previous. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
I
go.
didn't see it like in the theater or anything, but I've picked it up at some point along the way.
I also got to remember you guys have kids that would have around this time been kind of a near appropriate enough age to where, this movie would make 110%, sense to watch.
None of my kids have even been born yet. So,
okay. Well, then that's, then
it's just me, man. I like Scooby-Doo and I like Freddie Prinze. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. It was something I checked out on cable or something.
Adam, you're spot on though. My kids were once these came out to VOD, my kids were right in the sweet spot of this. They being, Gen Z, basically, my kids they don't really know Scooby-Doo. They don't love Scooby-Doo, but they love these movies. And these are movies that made me think of the top 5. It's impossible to think about now. The first Scooby-Doo movie was a massive, massive success. Like culturally, it had the coolest kids in it, Like it was one of those movies where oh, you've got Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Matthew Lillard in the same movie. Like this is as good as it gets. Like that is what happened with the first Scooby-Doo movie. The second Scooby-Doo movie wasn't as successful, but was still a success. And I mean, it's so well thought of that Matthew Lillard now is Shaggy. Like he's still doing the voices for Shaggy, even on the animated stuff, and with good reason. He's great as Shaggy, just terrific. And Tarantino's wrong. But the other thing about this, the secret thing about this movie, is that for people like me, you're watching it for Linda Cardellini. So when your kids say, "Can we watch the Scooby-Doo movie?" Dad's like, "Absolutely." But I'm watching it for a totally different reason than you. Totally different reason. And that might be a little creepy. I get it. Don't care. Linda Cardellini, it's the kind of thing how Wednesday Addams now is thought of as oh, that's a type of girl that you can like. Mm-hmm. The reason for that is because of the Addams Family movies, and people grew up with the Addams Family movies, and people were like, oh, that's a cute girl, right? Yeah. That didn't happen before those movies, though. Like the old Addams Family TV show, no one was like, oh, you know what? I like that type of girl. I like that type of girl, right? And it's the same thing with this. Like, no one thought of Velma as oh, that is a type of girl I can like, until these movies. Like, once they figured it out. And the thing about the first Scooby-Doo movie is that they kind of knew what they had, because they shot there's that infamous deleted scene with Linda Cardellini in it that they ended up cutting out. And just go on YouTube, Linda Cardellini Scooby-Doo cut scene, and it'll pop right up for you. It's really terrific. It's really terrific. But once they get to Scooby-Doo 2, it's no longer oh, wait a second. They know what they got. Like, the camera lingers on her. Thank you, director, for lingering on her. They linger on her a lot in this movie, way more than they do on Daphne. And I say,
supposed to be like the hot one, so to speak, from way back when.
Not in this movie. Not in this movie. In Scooby-Doo 2, it is very clear that Velma is the hot one. And I am here for it. I'm sorry I've taken up all the time. Please.
I was just going to say that I might have been the rare person who liked the animated Velma quite a bit, because she always had those short skirts. And she would lose her glasses a lot. And I think, man, if I was with her when she got on her hands and knees looking for the glasses, I could probably see her underwear. I was a very young person at the time. He was 22, 23. 47. But I really did have a thing for Velma as a child.
Oh, wow.
It's the grandma hair. He loves the grandma cut. You know what I'm saying?
It's the skirts, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's all about the skirts.
Yeah, she was kind of a juxtaposition there with the skirts and the big baggy sweater there and everything. She's a bit of a mystery, that one. So I understand where you're coming from.
But they tarred her up way more in this movie, which again, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, if somebody was like, wait a minute, this isn't an Uggo. Well, all right, we forgot. We got to rethink this a little bit. Get Colleen Atwood in here. We got to redesign some fucking costumes. You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, also like there's a crawling moment in this where I'm just like, this is a kid's film, but I'm all aboard this.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck's going on? And there's a lot of that in here as well. In the world, I'll just jump a little bit.
Please.
It's the. And I shouldn't have been surprised because I knew that these Scooby-Doo movies were written by James Gunn. I knew that going in. But again, for whatever reason, I'm still kind of surprised at how damn decent it is, because it is a tough thing to do because this is a children's. This is PG. Am I wrong?
Yes, it's PG.
Yeah. PG. So this is a children's film and everything, but there are still enough things. There's enough things for adults in here that if you're looking, there's some jokes in here that are a tiny bit risque that your kids certainly would not get, which I think is great. Which again shows us that James Gunn's writing this kind of for everybody, which has been kind of stock and trade for him for a while now.
Yeah.
It definitely grabs your attention and keeps it. It starts off really well and there's always something happening. I mean, like this, I don't really even care about the story in this. I'm not like all wrapped up in the plot or anything, but it's just a fun moment, and that really works.
Well, the filmmakers don't care about the plot in this movie either. Yeah. They're just there to have fun.
It's one of those things you can catch right in the middle and just take it from there and still enjoy it.
Yeah. On this viewing, I have not watched the Scooby-Doo movies, either one of them, in forever. My kids are grown, like they're not asking if they can watch Scooby-Doo. But what I did remember is that first Scooby-Doo movie was a miracle that it was that good, and it happened a couple of times during that era. Like the first Brady Bunch movie is like that, where you're like, oh wow, this movie is terrific and way better than it has any right to be. And this is another one of those movies where the Scooby-Doo movie is way better than it had any right to be. And it was so successful that they went ahead and made a sequel to it. I think the sequel is less successful if what you're looking for is the movie instead of just way more Linda Cardellini like me. For me, this is the most successful of the two. But for your general population, this is a movie where they went to the well too many times. And I understand that's what it is. But what I picked up this time watching it is that this movie feels like the way that everything is put together is kind of the same way that the Muppet movie, the good Muppet movies are put together, just under the lens of like if Joel Schumacher shot them. Like that's kind of what this feels like to me. This sequel definitely feels that way.
There's a little Schumacher DNA in this. You're not wrong.
Well, everything's neon, and there's dance parties happening in certain moments.
No one's rollerblading. I will say that we didn't get a single rollerblader throughout the entire movie. And for 2004, you still could be caught in a little post rollerblade madness there if you're not careful.
And don't think I'm not pissed off that I didn't get to see a single nipple.
I was going to say that all I can do now is picture George Clooney as Fred.
Speaking of Fred, though, Freddie Prinze Jr. is just the oddest choice in the world for Fred. But boy, oh boy, does he absolutely kill it. He was so much fun in this role.
It was star power, man. That's the reason why you got cast. Both he and Sarah Michelle Gellar are literally cast. They probably got the money to make the movie to this level once those two signed on, really. And once you hear, like, it just makes perfect sense at the time. Oh, Matthew Lillard is Shaggy. Yes, I can totally see that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's that kind of thing. It's like, Adam, I don't even know if you were born, but when you started hearing news about the new Batman movie that was coming out, and you hear Michael Keaton's playing Batman, it was kind of like, huh? But then they're like, oh, and Jack Nicholson's playing the Joker. It was like, yep, absolutely. That's exactly what needs to happen. And so it's kind of the same thing with Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, where it's like, well, no other human should be playing that person. Like, that's exactly who should be playing him.
I like the idea that the casting director had to check and see if Bob Denver was still alive first.
No, shocking. Actually, Bob Denver was probably lived to be like 98 or something. He was probably one of those dudes. Skipper checked out early for sure, though.
Well, I mean, he was also Maynard G. Krebs and Dobie Gillis, who is very clearly the inspiration for Shaggy.
Oh, so without a doubt.
Yeah, a little inside baseball joke.
It's literally the same. I mean, Hanna-Barbera is just lousy with that, right? I mean, you got a shark that talks like Curly from the Three Stooges. You have the Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch, where
the
like
Flintstones are literally just a rip off
of the Honeymooners.
Honeymooners.
It's like, come on.
I just didn't want you guys to think I was pandering to all the Dobie Gillis fans that watch our show.
Listen, man, there are tons. There are tons. That's why there's so many people here tonight.
Thanks for spoiling my top 5 this week, boys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It happens.
One of the things that I absolutely hate about this movie and totally forgot about is how egregious the Burger King product placement is in this movie. It is so awful. To the point where it's like, we get it. Burger King paid to be in your movie. We get it. It's everywhere all the time. It's even a bloody plot point at one point where it's like because they get stuff thrown at them, and it's Burger King that gets thrown at them.
Were you aware that it was Burger King in North America, but KFC everywhere else? So they had to shoot every Burger King scene only with KFC. And to me, I want to see the KFC version because I don't know how you work a bucket of chicken into some of that.
Yes, that's way cooler. That's way cooler at being KFC. Although I don't know why I think it's a lot cooler. I just do. Like, I have no reason for it. I have no dog in this fight, no horse in this race.
I like the idea that people are out just naturally eating chicken out of a bucket. See if somebody like, fuck that guy, and throws the chicken at him.
Throw it.
Because you gotta really, I could see throwing half a cheeseburger at somebody if you're pissed, but you have to really be pissed to throw like 7 pieces of chicken at it.
You're just throwing money away, man. What are you doing?
Throwing my side mac and cheese at him.
Oh no.
That's way better. But I mean, come on, man. Because they kind of had, like, whenever I see this, I'm like, Wayne's World had come out already. Like, those jokes are already in the public consciousness. So when you see it in a movie, it's like, you didn't learn that this is literally a joke now, how bad the product placement is. Like, why haven't you learned anything? Why is it like this? It's ridiculous to me. Made me nuts.
Like, listen, man, when Robert Zemeckis does it, you all love it. Shut up.
Do you see how hard Tim Blake Nelson is acting in this scene right now? And you're ruining it. You're ruining it with your stupid product placement.
Tim Blake Nelson has to be a nice guy, I think. I don't know why. Like maybe he's got kids that he did this. Like, he's above this movie, and like, I don't mean that but I just like, he shows up. Now, granted, he's probably there for like 3 days.
Oh man, he just had a sandwich and left. But it's one of those things too, where like the more of these reps you get as Tim Blake Nelson, it gets you further and further out from, that's the one-off guy. From Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And we're right in that time here. Like, this is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou country. So when he shows up in this thing, it's like, oh, cool. Tim Blake Nelson's in this. At least I know he's going to literally give it his all, which every performer in this movie is doing. There's no one half-assing it. Like Peter Boyle, like all of those, like all of the people who are coming in to have a sandwich. Even Alicia Silverstone, God bless her, is trying as hard as she can.
She's doing well enough for what she's doing. And I feel like, now I could be wrong. But maybe I'm giving too much of a leeway here with this, but I feel like Alicia Silverstone is kind of realizes who she is. You know, she's read the script and maybe she's acting a little bit funky in account. That's his best I'll give. But, you know, she could have been a lot worse. But again, another pretty looking lady, I think, you know, right about that kind of height of her time there and everything. I do enjoy how we like at the end, you know, we'll skip a little bit, but Tim Blake Nelson doesn't call them meddling kids because I'm like, everyone's 30 in this.
Yeah. I, you know, the first thing that caught my attention was Peter Boyle because I loved the way he did like the Grandpa Munster thing with his hair.
Yep.
How really long do you think they like? Did those eyebrows come? Did he come to set with the eyebrows like this, or did they like interweave them and do those special? Because there's some wild ass like there's some Andy Rooney type eyebrows going on with this guy.
I'm willing to say that those might be natural born Boyle brows.
I think they are. It's like you look at them and it's just like, wow, what a field of disaster those things are. But they do make Peter Boyle Peter Boyle. I can't complain about it. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, he's right in the middle of Everyone Loves Raymond at this point. You know, this is what 2002, I think.
2004.
2004. Everyone Loves Raymond is still on TV. It's because that's on TV until 2005. So he didn't bring him to set with him. It's literally part of his costume. Let's give the man some dignity and some credit. Those aren't his eyebrows. The man knew what he was doing. The man is a very, very good actor.
I think that on Everybody Loves Raymond, they put some latex over those and then painted on more normal looking eyebrows.
I will not have this besmirching of Peter Boyle on my podcast, sir.
Still the best Frankenstein ever. We can agree on that.
Yeah,
that's very true. Very true.
Doubt. No
I
doubt.
like Peter Boyle and we'll just go into Peter Boyle rants over here. Okay, I was about to say,
isn't that kind of what we do, Portress? I mean, come on.
True. It's
Peter
true.
Boyle was great as James Bond back in the 60s.
Listen, we just let Bruce on the show, guys. We don't know what he's saying.
So here's the thing. Here's one of the things that I've noticed is that, and maybe it's always been this way, but maybe it's just come with age. I would say more than 75% of the time, I can't understand what in the goddamn hell Scooby-Doo is saying. And I don't know if it's just come with age or if it's something where like, oh, I never could. I don't know. But there were so many times in this movie where I was like, oh, thank God they repeated what he just said, because I have no idea what that dog just said.
And they can't put subtitles because none of the kids that are watching this can read yet.
Right.
It's also, to me, kind of crazy, like how many things I distinctly remember being Scooby-Doo that were actually Astro from the Jetsons.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like Ruh-Roh, that's Astro.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not Scooby-Doo.
That's Astro. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Scooby-Doo.
Because I was like, why didn't he go Ruh-Roh, Raggy? But that's because he never said that.
Yeah. Well, what do we think? I mean, it's obviously 2003, so there's not going to be. But even for 2003 standards, the CGI in this is pretty poor.
Oh God, man. I mean, yes, but like, you know, you look at something. You look at something like all the Star Wars movies at this point, and the CG in that is bad. So you can only imagine that something that isn't supposed to like be like a CG fest. Yes, of course, is going to look pretty poor. Although that mask that the villain is wearing, the main villain is wearing, is terrific. That's a practical mask, and it just looks so good.
And even though, you know, there's a lot of CGI when they're actually in motion, but in the museum, those were all actually suits that a person could wear.
Really?
I mean, that's a pretty cool touch. At least that's what I read. I mean, it was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But it like the whole idea of that kind of like, this is the hall of all of our defeated foes and stuff like that, and walking through, it really lends a world to this, you know, Scooby-Doo stuff. It makes, you know, Mystery Incorporated an actual thing, you know, because you don't really quite always think of that, of like, oh yeah, it's a detective agency here and everything. Here are all the spoils of their stuff. Here are all the people that we've done. And that is kind of the gag in Scooby-Doo, is all of the like, hey, you unmask it, it's Old Man Willie. It's all of those things. Well, here are all of the collections of all these things. And then we're going to take that and add this sci-fi element of making them creatures and come alive and stuff like that. It's a really neat idea.
Yeah, it really is. It's a fun premise too, where like, oh, they're actually ghosts this time. Like that part is really neat.
I read that this is pretty close to a remake of season 2 episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think it was called Halloween. To the point where they even had Seth Green in it. You know, Seth Green and Sarah Michelle Gellar were both in that episode, both in this. But it's something about Halloween costumes coming to life. And then the girl from American Pie, I can't remember that actress's name right now, from How I Met Your Mother.
Allison.
Anyway, I like, she was the Velma character, and she got all dolled up by Buffy, and then Seth Green fell in love with her or was attracted to her or whatever. I mean, it's pretty crazy how similar, and there's no secret of it. I mean, James Gunn, I guess, did that intentionally to some degree.
Can let me ask you guys a question here. When you think of Seth Green, what do you think of project wise, like movie or TV show? What's the first thing that comes to your head?
At this point, for me, it's Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would say, and this is only because I had an experience with Seth Green in the room, was Robot Chicken. I always think of Robot Chicken because I went to a Star Wars panel in Indianapolis that, like, for some reason, no one was there. No one was there, but it was like him and a whole bunch of other guys just talking about how they put together the Star Wars special and stuff like that. And I'm like, why the fuck is no one in here? This is insane. As I left the room, going to see Seth Green was Dennis Murin. I didn't realize it till he just passed me, and I was like, what's fucking Dennis Murin that just passed me? He's like 6'5". He's a huge dude. But like,
Dennis Murin?
He is the special guy behind a lot of the special effects in Star Wars.
Ah, okay.
Huge guy. Just, but like, it's one of these, if you saw him in special features and stuff, the second you saw that face, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen this guy talk about Star Wars all the time. Kind of a gray-haired, bald, white guy and stuff like that. But
he's a bald white?
He's a bald whitey.
In Hollywood?
I'm right. It's a little bit, it's strange, but one got through the door somehow.
So I think it's so weird because, like, when you think he's been in movies and TV shows since he was a kid, right? He's literally been around since the early 80s because he's in Radio Days, the Woody Allen movie Radio Days. Idle Hands, there you are. MVD. I think for me, it's always a toss up between him and Austin Powers or Robot Chicken. And it's the reason why I'm asking you guys this question is with purpose, is because he's playing the nerdy guy in this movie. But at this point in his life, Seth Green is an executive producer on Robot Chicken. He's been in the movie business for 20 years successfully. He's been in 3 gigantic movies at this point. And he's about to kill it with Family Guy forever. Like, he's just going to work on Family Guy for the next 30 years, just cash and mailbox checks all the time. And that's totally fine. It's just so strange to me that even at this moment in his career, Hollywood is like, oh, we need somebody nerdy, like Seth Green. Meanwhile, Seth Green, if he walks into any room, is the most popular human being in the room, especially during this time. And I just found it fascinating, the juxtaposition of, Hollywood is still treating him like he's a nerdy nerd, because nerds are still nerds at this point. Like, it's not the coolest thing in the world to be a Doctor Who fan,
I think you just brought it up, though, and it just clicked. We may be 1 year away from that.
Yeah,
because this was the year that, like, from them actually knowing that he's cool, because that was 2003 was when that Star Wars convention was. No, this is when the convention was.
I see.
It might have been 2004. I forget. 2003, 2004, either way. But I go to that Robot Chicken panel and there's no one there. I go to the next Star Wars celebration. It is unbelievably packed. There was a bigger line for the Robot Chicken panel than there was for George Lucas. I shit you not.
Wow.
I know at the end of I think it was Blue Harvest, one of the Family Guy spoofs of the OG trilogy of Star Wars, and at the end, one of the characters that Seth MacFarlane voices is just telling the character that Seth Green voices how terrible the robot chicken Star Wars
Oh, yeah.
adaptations are. And I just got a lot of fun out of that.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. You know whose voice Chris is doing as, or Seth Green is doing as Chris in Family Guy?
No, who is it?
It's Buffalo Bill.
Wow.
Think about it. It makes so. He's like, that's
Wow,
Like
that's
from Silence of the
perfect sense.
Lambs?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure
That's
you weren't talking about like the cowboy performer from.
Oh, come on, Bruce. Get the
But
fuck out of here.
I heard him just talk
the
about that.
cowboy performer. Yeah, everybody's Buffalo Bill impression.
Buffalo Bill in the Wild West show or whatever he had.
Get the fuck out of here. Here's my Annie Oakley. So, so here's the thing, right? So one of the things I want to talk about for a second, because we're not going to talk about it a ton. I just want to touch on it. The mystery machine in this movie has never looked sexier. The only thing that sucks about it is the clown show paint job that's on it. But if you take that clown show paint job off of there, I defy you to show me, like, the A-Team's van isn't as cool as that van. That van is badass, man. They got McGuire on the tires and on the hubs. It looks so gorgeous. That chrome is shiny, baby. It looks so good.
You know, despite the artistic choices with the paint job, the paint job itself looks great, high gloss,
Yes.
immaculate.
Yes.
Hey, listen, that could have been Michael Bay eyes. Do you know what I'm talking about? We could have made
Yes.
the mystery machine more kind of cool, and like, it's got to be more 2000s, guys. It's got to be more 2000s.
We could have only shot it super up close so you couldn't see the whole thing at once.
Fair.
If it were like 2 or 3 years later that they made this movie, the colors would move on the van. Like they would have
like
made that
Rorschach's
happen.
mask.
Oof.
Yeah.
Big oof. Thank you. The cool part about this movie and everything is in what James Gunn does with the writing is it's very much the Scooby-Doo episode, the Scooby-Doo formula and everything, but it's done in a way that's, better than 15-minute cartoons. That like we can actually stretch it. We can actually have, plot lines here and things that, you normally didn't get in an actual Scooby-Doo cartoon. It was just called, here's a little bit, and we unmask and we're done. Here we have a lot more to play with, and it's a lot more fun. You get to have these moments with characters and stuff like that. You get to, just have Shaggy and Scooby, again, much like the show, often doing their own little thing and stuff like that, to varying degrees of success, I guess. But, it's fun enough for what it is, and God bless Matthew Lillard for having to act up against Zero. That's got to be difficult to do.
Man.
Ugh. It's like, oh, now pet this imaginary dog that's in front of you. That's your best friend in the world. What?
Yeah.
All right.
I have the
Yeah,
idea
chug it,
that,
Tarantino.
I have the idea that they brought Sean Gunn in a green suit. Like I think James Gunn started way back then.
Well, boys,
Here,
hold on.
go pet Sean Gunn.
MPD dropped one and says, $5 and said, someone in my hometown has a mystery machine replica van. I see them some mornings on my drive home from work. Sean, have you seen the mystery machine person in Charlotte that has the big Great Dane and shit that will come out beside the comic shop every once in a while?
They have the
that
Great
guy.
Dane?
Yes, the whole thing with the blue collar, the whole thing. Like it literally is like it's kind of crazy. Sometimes that guy dresses up, sometimes he don't. But if you're driving around in the mystery machine and you're dressed like Fred, people are gonna
Give them a little what they want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Show them what's up.
When I lived in Charlotte, I would occasionally pass the guy that has like the replica police car from Andy Griffith. The guy that kind of dresses like Barney, but I never did see the mystery machine.
Man, that's crazy because there's also the Ghostbusters duo, the couple that has the Ghostbusters car. Like that goes to every convention still. There's like it's kind of nuts for such a small town. There are 3, count them, 3 famous cars in that town. It's crazy.
We're just driving by and everybody comes by and goes, oh yeah, that's the thing I know. I know that thing.
Now I've got to ask. You know what? We'll save it for the end because I got one question I got to ask, which is the most important question of our show. But before that, let me ask you guys this, because the reason why we're here is Linda Cardellini, right? Yes. Now it's impossible to look past the red pleather scene. Like it's impossible to look past that. It's impossible. But There was a moment while I was watching this show where I was like, is this just me? Is Linda Cardellini just doing it for me because I so clearly have a type? And so I have to ask the question, do you guys think this is the best she's ever looked in a movie?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean I like it the best, if that makes sense. It looks like there's a whole lot of makeup smoothing out some of the natural, beautiful lines in her face and that sort of thing. But I first discovered her, maybe crushed on her a little bit in Freaks and Geeks. So that's a very different version of Linda Cardellini, but she's great in every version.
Adam is frozen.
I thought he was just playing a gag on us there for a minute.
Adam's frozen, so that means that we're frozen to him, is my guess.
Oh boy. Oh, this looks promising though.
Yeah, spinning wheel of death. That's good, right?
Yeah, when the wheel is spinning, something's winning. I don't know.
Hey, there you go.
Digital
you
roulette.
Just made up a thing. There literally was a moment when I was watching the movie this week where that's not great.
It's like that episode. It's like that part in Wayne's World when Wayne left and Garth has to figure out what to do all on his own on the public access show. But other than this, I mean, Linda Cardellini, you obviously appreciate her as an individual, not just the character Velma. What other things stick out to your mind with her?
When she shows up in Grandma's Boy, I was like, oh, holy shit, they got Linda Cardellini for this. That's amazing. I love that she's in this. And she's so kind of game for it, which is fun. Yeah. The movie isn't beneath her, and I think she probably learned that from being in the Scooby-Doo movies. Like, this is not something that is beneath me. I'm glad that I am here, kind of a thing.
And I was fond of her when she showed up in the MCU also.
Oh, yeah, she's great as Hawkeye's wife, but how dare you, Hawkeye? That's my lady.
All of a sudden, my internet connection went wonky. I don't know what
happened. We saw it.
Like
we were like, oh, no. Game's over. Game's over.
Just reloaded. Well, I don't know what the heck happened, but I was just
Bruce started crying when you were gone. I was like, Bruce, it's going to be okay.
I'm still alive.
I have no object permanence. I thought you actually no longer existed. We were talking about Linda Cardellini a little bit. What do you think of Linda Cardellini?
One more time.
What do you think of Linda Cardellini?
Listen, man, she's great.
Visage?
Listen, Sean and I are not too far off on the kind of same path here in many ways. So I understand exactly where this man is coming from, and when he said it, I'm like, got no problem with this movie.
Yeah.
So and again, like with the glasses and everything, you're aiming down my alley with all of this stuff. So it really works. It really works. So you've got no problem with me in selling this of like, oh, I just take this off and put the hair in and everything's fine. But I love also that the fact that we go into the fact that it's like, this isn't her. This isn't who she is and what she does. Like, we're trying to sex it up and stuff. And that's not who this person is, but she wants to put on, the airs and all that kind of good stuff. And we have enough fun with the kind of leathery fart jokes and stuff like that, which, I'm sure the kids, absolutely love. I mean, there's a couple of great fart jokes in this. In fact, I say, if you're watching them, take a shot for every fart joke you hear. You won't get plastered, but you'll have a little buzz by the end.
Oh yeah. By the end, you're going to have trouble hitting the stop button.
I was telling Sean that I honestly, like, it's not a bit, not a gag or anything. I prefer her in her more natural form than when they get her all dolled up.
Yeah, I listen, I can agree with that. And it's one of those things that, like, sometimes you can find a lady even hotter than not in like pair of sweats and all that kind of jazz and stuff like that. It depends on all the factors. There's a lot of factors in play. We're as simple as men are very often branded. I think we're sometimes a lot more complicated deep down inside.
Not me.
Yeah. I think I learned something here today.
I think we all have.
So if anyone wants to know what my wife looks like, Looks like that.
Pretty close. Yeah.
If anybody wants to know what my ex-wife looks like,
It's kind of
just meaner.
You know what's weird is like I got the type, but like it always goes the opposite direction for me, which doesn't like I don't know how that adds up or doesn't, but you know.
I'll say with my exes, I've
I
definitely hit for
brunette, but married a blonde. I don't know.
I've hit for the cycle. Like I've had very different types. I've been all over the board.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I found out once upon a time that it was greatly to my advantage not to be picky.
Cover my eyes up. You. Me? Well.
Sure. You'll do.
I guess. If you're going to sweet talk me like that, I might as well. We just might as well hop into bed right now, pal.
Okay.
You know, because
go ahead.
I was going to say sometimes when people play matchmaker, they'd say, "What's your type?" And I'd say desperate. And they're like, "Oh, have I got the girl for you?"
So now I've got to ask the question of the week. I thought of it while I was watching this movie. Adam Portress, this question is aimed right to you. When you were a child, would this movie have scared you?
That's a tough one because I was a little bit. I think they're probably, dependent upon my age, maybe because there's a couple of moments in this when the big like electric monster is going in stuff. There are some moments that like if your kid is a little sensitive to this stuff, they could get fairly well scared in this, I would think.
Because if I'm remembering correctly, you were afraid of moments in ET also, right? Like when we don't know what ET is yet, like when you were a little kid watching it.
That not so much that one. I mean, maybe a little bit of like, you know, just when the ball's coming out of the shed there and everything, because you're like, what is that? But like once you not mostly, I would say the thing that kind of like stupid shit that scared me, like Mr. Boogedy scared me when I was a child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the garbage that even scared me. The stories of people talking about movies. I was like, I had nightmares. I'm like, why would you do this to me? Why would you describe plots of scary movies to a child?
Oh man, they needed that Mr. Boogedy Scooby-Doo crossover. Now that I think about it,
no kidding. Although
it would have been amazing. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's oh my god, Bruce! Somebody animate that at least.
No way. Those two film companies are okay.
Yeah,
there's no
Warner
way.
Brothers and Disney have a long.
They love each other.
I think it was only Roger Rabbit, and that's it, and we're done.
Yeah, no more after. There's too much paperwork involved in this. We can't have it. It's just too much lawyers get involved. Now, Bugs and Mickey must have the exact same amount of screen time and lines.
Right.
What is going on here? You guys are insane, but I get it. I get where both of them are coming from.
It looks like a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson contract in a movie.
Yeah, I feel like once the DC and Marvel got involved, that's when the real bad blood started. The
movie that scared me the most as a kid wasn't a movie. It was a commercial. There was this commercial at locally for this place called Bedding Barn, and the guy would scream at the camera, and people would throw mattresses at him. It would scare the living shit out of me, and I would run out of the room. I can remember being scared.
They're throwing mattresses. That's not a light throw. A mattress.
No, and the goal of the commercial was to knock the man over as he's screaming at the camera about how low the prices are at Bedding Barn.
Just glad the guy didn't sell bricks.
Maybe he'd stop yelling.
I tell you what, though, I don't know that I show up to a place that's called Bedding Barn. Oh, bedding. You know what? I just put it together because I was like, why the fuck are we calling it the Bedding Barn? That sounds like a place that you go to do offshore betting and gambling and shit. Like the Bedding Barn. That's my
mistake. That's my mistake. My accent has gotten me in trouble with more gens than you can possibly imagine.
It sounds like your local version of the Crazy Eddie thing from New York.
The local version of Crazy Eddie was Crazy Eddie for me. Like, we would get those commercials too.
I was outside the Crazy Eddie radius.
Man, that guy yelled all the time about the prices being insane, but he wasn't having mattresses thrown at him.
Charlotte had Apple Auto Care. If everybody
Oh
remembers,
yeah.
we're healing. Like
Yep.
with the guy wearing his fake preacher outfit here with a pompadour, and he's, oh, Reverend Rob, my credit is so bad. Well, we gonna heal your credit. Smack him in the head.
And he would constantly put his hand up to the camera, and he had calluses all over his hand. And I remember thinking, like, well, your hands are calloused, dude. Like, why do you keep doing that?
I'm wrenching on cars.
Our local wacky commercials were literally Ernest before he got famous. Like he started in all these commercials in Eastern Kentucky where I live.
I am so jealous of that. I want to be able to see those just as a kid. I can't even imagine the joy they would have brought to me. Like it must have been so joyful. And it's local. It's yours.
Yes,
God,
and it was
so
weird when they made a movie because I didn't know anybody knew about it out of like 13 counties.
Right. So cool. The Betting Barn guy didn't get his own movie series. Betting Barn goes to camp. Nope.
No. He's got to rescue the kids while mattresses are flung at him.
Apple Auto goes to jail. That wasn't a movie. That was real life.
Probably. What do you think about like the design, like the set design and stuff in this movie? Because like there's some stuff that's like really cool, some stuff that sucks, and then there's like an ungodly amount of like green screen CGI or just bullshit.
There is, but the problem when you're making a movie like this, because the people who are making it are doing a really good job, because basically they're trying to make a live action cartoon, right? So you have to make it look as much like a cartoon, but also with having a foot in real life, which is just so incredibly hard and such a weird dance that I thought that they did a pretty good job. I think it's uglier than hell, but I think it's ugly as hell because it's 2004. I don't think it's ugly because they did a bad job. I think that there's also an issue when you're CGI, like think about how bad it looks when they are extreme sporting down the side of the mountain on the trash can lids. Like that looks really bad. That looks, I mean, everyone busts the chops of Escape from LA with Kurt Russell on that surfboard. I present to you Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed that looks way worse than that.
In the year 2004.
Right. And I think in the year of our Lord. And I think that the art team is doing a really good job with both hands tied behind their backs. Like, that is a massive set that they're at where it's the museum of Scooby-Doo villains. Mm-hmm. What do you fill that with? How do you make that look something that isn't austere, like a museum would be? Like, how do you make that look like something that would be drawn in a Hanna-Barbera cartoon? I think they did a good job. The other really good job is when Shaggy and Scooby sneak into the bad guy bar, and
the softest bad guy bar in history. I love
the faux ghost.
Yeah,
it's just so great. The outside looks amazing. The inside of it looks great. The inside looks like an actual bar, which probably is difficult because it's a kids movie. So I'm sure many a conversation was had of this has to look like the fakest bar ever, and it does. But that's also one of those moments where at the beginning of our podcast here, I said, I think it looks like there's times where this looks like the Muppet movie shot by Joel Schumacher, like one of the better Muppet movies shot by Joel Schumacher. And that's one of those scenes where it's like, oh, this looks like the Muppet Show and Joel Schumacher. And I'm not saying that as a pejorative. I think that recommends the movie.
To me, the bar really felt like that bar that Guy Gardner has in DC Comics. For some reason,
my God, Champions.
Yeah.
You talking about Champions?
Yeah, and Warner Brothers has the rights to both bars, both the Scooby-Doo bar and the Guy Gardner bar. So that was the first connection I made.
Hey, to show our roots here for a second. Well, first of all, I just did by knowing what Guy Gardner's bar is named.
But of course I do. What are you talking about?
Are either of you looking forward to the Lanterns TV show or no?
I am, because I really like the kind of wacky Guy Gardner that we got in whatever that last movie was.
Superman.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot just because of the the kind of people involved and stuff like that. And again, like I said, it feels like, at least to some degree or another, not the biggest of degrees, but like sometimes when comic stuff comes out, it's just like, it is still part of the DNA, like I liked this shit way before we ever did the things, and I'll like them, afterwards. So I'll always kind of be like at least a little interested.
And I am willing to give it the benefit of the doubt just because of how well Peacemaker has been received.
Yeah.
So, there's good creative forces behind it.
I am all in because they got Coach Taylor to play Hal Jordan. Done. That's all I needed to know. Oh, you got Coach Taylor playing Hal Jordan? Done.
Yeah, it does seem like a really smart move.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to
casting.
It's an HBO, yeah.
Yeah, HBO.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. So that'd be fun too.
So final thoughts on this movie is I think that it's like they were so famous, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar at the time of this. Like she's still on Buffy. It's why they have her making all of those those fighting moves on the monsters.
But it's
because
also
she's
great
Buffy.
because that also like gives Daphne like a character with some agency and stuff. She's got cool shit that she can do. She's not just a pretty girl who's there just going like, oh, buh, 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 buh. There's none of that going on. She's kicking butt left and right. So she's got something to do. Everybody's got their own speciality in this, and that kind of works. Even Fred's bullshit is still kind of like, it still helps in weird and odd ways.
Yeah. I also really like this is going to sound like the oldest thing an old man has said. I really like that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar are still together.
It's awesome, isn't it?
This movie is over 20 years old, and this is the sequel. They've been together for almost 30 years, those two. And I love it. I love it. It's kind of the millennial generation's, like couple where like, yeah, they're not in the spotlight like they used to be, but they're still together, and I find that incredible.
And they're still both good looking. Still good looking people. I'll tell you what, it's not too shabby there. I will say this though, God bless, but Seth Green is looking aged. He aged real fast there. I just saw like that Family Guy panel, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh, Seth, man, age been catching up a little bit, and it does to all of us. So I'm not, whatever. Yeah. But
and Freddie Prinze is a Star Wars, so that's always like a big check mark in our category.
I love how much Freddie Prinze Jr. loves Star Wars too.
Yeah, he loves it.
It's another one of those, like, that cat is into Star Wars, and like that's who I want behind Star Wars, is people that like dig it the most. That's who I want behind Star Wars.
He likes Star Wars so much that he will actually speak people about Star Wars. Like that's how deep into it he is. Look, Seth Green is 52 years old, man. He better start looking old.
Yeah, exactly. But he looked young forever. I think that was one of those things. He aged just all of a sudden it was like nothing, boom.
Not everybody can hold up as well as I have.
It's true. Oh my God. Hold on. MVD. Fortress. My Bucks. God. Thank you, buddy. Do we know why Alicia Silverstone mouth moves like that? I couldn't stop staring at it when she was on screen.
I think
the best from all the I've seen all day.
I think it's from all the making out she did with her stepbrother after Clueless.
I think it's just a thing. I just think that's kind of how like the mouth moves there and everything. But I don't know. I always thought she was a very very attractive lady.
She had a very very heartbreaking bungee jumping injury from all those Aerosmith videos.
Oh. Yeah.
Living on the edge. All right, let's not get copy struck, everybody. That was so close to Steven Tyler's.
You're the one who did it. Why are you chastising us? We did nothing.
I was chastising the whole podcast as a whole. I just don't want to,
It was you, Portress. You're the one who did that. Okay, everybody, let's calm down.
Me?
What are you?
All right, guys, it's time. Down. It's time we quit talking over each other and stop making really unfunny jokes. Okay, guys, let's all
it hasn't stopped us for 10 years. I'll be goddamned if it's going to stop us right now. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to the end of the program, and we've got to ask ourselves, no, wait, that's the other show. Bruce, What is your star rating and recommendation for Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed from the year 2004?
It's a fun time. It's a good time, but it's not an intellectual time. It's not something that's absolutely going to speak to you in terms of addressing the human condition or anything. So I'm going to give it 3.5 Scooby snacks, or 3.5, 35 cents. 3.5 times is 35 cents. I'm going to give it 35 cents.
Hey.
Sean, what do you got? Which also makes it like the most anything it gets, 50 cents. And that's still kind of like, oh boy, oh, 50 cents. Wow.
Gonna get me a handful of bit of honey. Linda Cardellini, 10 out of 10. No notes. Perfect in every way. Love her in this movie. Love Linda Cardellini now. But my God, man, her in this movie, it's unfair. I'm only a man made of flesh and bone. The movie itself, however, is still fun. It's about, it's about like a 3 out of 5, I'd say. 3 Scooby snacks. Like it's not good, it's not bad. It exists. The only thing to recommend it to me is that there's 2 things. One is, this movie isn't a nightmare to watch. Like and you can watch it all the way through, and it's not a job. It doesn't feel like a job when you're watching it. And the second thing is, of course, Linda Cardellini.
For me, I'm going to go, 2.5 on this one. It's not horrible. I think it's, especially if you're like a fan of any of the people that are involved, it's worth a one quick watch here and everything. You're not spending an entire day. It's not like you're watching Lord of the Rings or something like that. You're over in no time flat. And you know what? You don't feel super gross for having done it. You don't feel like a stupid child who's had to watch some things that was, made for someone with the intelligence of an eggplant. You don't feel like that at the end of this. You don't feel like a genius. You don't feel like you're going to go to any Mensa meeting and be like, hi, boys, I got a lot to share with the group. I saw Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. That's not happening either. But you don't want to jump off a bridge, which is a good thing. So I'd recommend it for like a one-timer, just to kind of see how much fun everybody's having with this.
That's a really good point, Adam, because, Bruce and I have that happen to us constantly. We're like, oh, sweet. You know what? I will watch this old episode of G.I. Joe.
Yes,
yikes.
Yes.
I will watch
ever.
Voltron. Yikes. Like it just happens over and over again, where you're like, was I the dumbest person alive? I watch this every day.
We had 3 channels to choose from, and 2 of them were like Phil Donahue and Oprah Winfrey. We got to cut ourselves some slack.
Okay.
I thought this was good. You were wrong. So that is it, everybody. We're going to words.
Yes.
We're going to. I keep wanting to say we're kicking off. We're not. We're continuing on, rather, our March of Dimes series here next week with career opportunities. Everybody.
Boys.
This is one I'm excited for. I'll tell the story next week about how I came across this movie and everything, how I thought career opportunities, that sounds like the worst ever. And let me tell you, boys and girls, it is not. It is most assuredly not. So we're going to talk all about career opportunities tomorrow, or next week, rather.
Story last week of how you found it.
Well, we're doing it again for the people that don't listen to this every week. I've seen the numbers.
I can't wait till we get to the Betty Davis movie.
But we're gonna be covering career opportunities featuring Jennifer Connelly next week. Bruce, in the meantime, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Well, if people are interested, you can check out my Patreon, because over at the Patreon, and you don't even have to subscribe. You can just for like $3.99 or $6 if you use Apple, because they're awful. So please don't use Apple. But you can check out the latest movie that I worked on with my son, and that is Sugar. It's a wrestling picture, 20 minutes long. And if you're curious, go check it out. That's Bruce Leslie on Patreon. Or, if you happen to live in like Corncob Creek, Nebraska, it may come to a festival in your town.
Indeed. Sean, are we teasing? Are we teasing the tease? What are we doing?
Yeah, might as well, right? So I'm going to drop it this week. So as longtime listeners know, I have been poking at this one idea that I've been wanting to do forever. And I even recorded a bunch of episodes of a show called Sean Likes Spaceships. And I will never put them to air because they're awful and they suck and they're boring and there's no reason for them. And so for the last like year or so, I've been working on how to make a YouTube channel that I actually want and would like to watch. And so this week I'm dropping the trailer for my new YouTube channel called Sean Likes Spaceships. The first episode is going to come up right around March 20th, because the first movie that I'm going to talk about is Project Hail Mary, which is one of my favorite books that I've read in the last 10 years. And it is a show that hopefully is fun and interesting to watch, and not something where you want to rip and claw your eyes out like I did with the first go around. So I've been working on this project for like roughly about a year in my free time, and I'm finally about to unleash it into an unsuspecting public. It's called Sean Likes Spaceships on YouTube.
When that comes out, we'll throw some links in the show notes here and everything, and we'll cross promote on our YouTube channel here and everything. So send you right on over to all that kind of good stuff. I've seen a promo. I'm looking forward to it. It's looking good, and he has been. I now that I look back and everything, it all starts. All the like things are starting to put that like, okay, there we go. All the things that we were talking about off mic and everything, all start to make sense. There we go. You get it.
When I asked you about the red camera, like all of that is.
What about this? What about this? I'm like, this boy up to something, and we finally figured it out. So check it out, everybody. We'll have the links in the show notes for all that, and that will do. Oh, and check me out. Every Tuesday over at TikTok Trash Tuesday. That is on our YouTube page. So every Tuesday at 8 p.m., I go to movie TikTok. I pull out what I hope are all interesting. I only watch a couple of seconds. I go, that's a movie TikTok. I save that. I bring it back, and we talk about it and make fun of people on the internet. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. You never know. But the fun part is, it's all there, and we got the dirty babies in chat as we have had tonight. And we want to thank all of those people for hanging out, man. We've had a lot of folks, watching tonight, so it's been really great. Come out, people, come out. It's a good time over here, and that will do it for this episode of Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Next week, as we continue our March of Dimes series with career opportunities featuring Jennifer Connelly. Until then, for Sweet Seanzie Kovacs from the internet, Bruce Leslie, I'm Matt Porters, reminding you to get out there and watch some movies, you dirty babies.
Are you playing that live? Okay.
See the guitars in the background. He grabs them.
Man, that guitarist is really good. Is that you on the drums also, or is that just drum from Apple Music?